You'll see the title of today's debate is "The New Zealand Government Should Sell 100% of its SOE stake, not 49%. And so what we're hoping the debate will do will be to lay out the arguments as to what are the benefits and costs of having full privatisation and what are the benefits and costs of having only what you might call partial privatisation.
There's a whole list of reasons why going greater than 0% is worthwhile. How many of you would know what of our SOEs are investing offshore?
I suspect that most of us realise that there is a trade-off here between efficient commercial operation and public ownership.
What's wrong with some public ownership in them?
The case for going as far as 100% is pretty straightforward. By doing so, we boost output and growth in the economy and we recycle those benefits back to the community.
And most people, when you think about SOEs, are really only concerned with the price of electricity.
Where has been the comparable angst where publicly owned operations have failed to deliver and have lost value for taxpayers over time? When they looked at firms before and after privatisation, it's a whitewash, as you can see.
No shareholder can own more than 10% of the shares.
The debate comes down to, do you think that competition matters? Are SOEs subject to welfare reducing interventions, and are SOE government problems intractable?
If it were, we didn't have these shareholdings, then one possibility would be that the firm could be purchased and removed from the share market.
People are nervous about foreign ownership. New Zealanders own about as much overseas as foreigners own here in New Zealand.
The economy needs lawmakers and public servants that have some comprehension of what it is to manage a commercial enterprise.
The simple fact is that if you're a manager within a public sector organisation, you know that you're not going to be allowed to go bankrupt.
One thing MOM will not allow is the CEO, I would think, to take over the board. The MOM model is superior to the 0% model. 2 glasses of wine are enough. They are superior to the full bottle.
And having an inefficient state sector essentially just throws an extra kind of burden of cost onto all those other sectors. It lowers the competitiveness and ultimately kind of costs out the jobs.
Then does ownership matter? This was the real crux of the debate, I think, between the two of them. Are SOEs subject to welfare reducing interventions by government? Well, once you've got 49% ownership and you've got some shareholder monitoring from the private sector, is that enough? We know that monitoring by officials has been poor, but is that still a case once 49% or 50 or 49% has been sold and there is proper monitoring in the external market? One point that wasn't raised in the clearly by either speaker, I think, was with the 49% model and the guarantee that government will retain majority ownership, is that the government still controls new equity raising by the SOE. Unless the government agrees to increase its own equity stake, the SOE cannot raise new equity.